Shabbat Shalom. We'll start with a nigun, a wordless prayer, to get us breathing together. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da da. Take a breath, feel the melody coursing through your body and sing along if you can. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da da. Another week has come and gone. I've been watching the moon of Sivan, the late spring moon as it waxes, increasing in fullness as the bloom of summer pushes in with 90-degree heat and parched lawns, children splashing in pools, and fireflies lighting up the evening walks. Shabbat extends into the week, and I am grateful. Grateful to feel the warmth on my skin and in my heart, and grateful to share this precious custom of Shabbat Shalom. Please join me on page 128, second song down. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We welcome another respite in time. In the words of Abraham Joshua Heschel, Shabbat is a palace in time. So let us take in the air of this precious day to immerse in Shabbat together. Hine Matov, top of page 128. Hine Matov umanayim, Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד. Excuse me. So I'm a big fan of page 128. There's so many beautiful, welcoming verses here. Yedid Nefesh, heart's delight. Av HaRachamam, source of mercy. Shoch Avdecha Ritzonecha, draw your servant into your arms. Yarutz Avdecha, Kemo Ayal, and leap like a deer. Ishtachaveh Emul Darecha, and stand in awe before you. Yedid Nefesh HaRachaman, Yedid Nefesh HaRachaman, Meshoch Avdecha, Eretz Onecha, Meshoch Avdecha, Ya la 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 la, Eretz Onecha, Yarutz Avdecha, Kemo Ayal, Yishtachaveh, Ya la 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 la, Emul Darecha, Yarutz Avdecha, Kemo Ayal, Yishtachaveh, da 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 da, Emul Darecha. We light the Shabbat candles. On page 120 is the blessing. when I keep Shabbat, lighting the Shabbat candles, making challah, saying Kiddush, praying the Psalms and the prayers of the Mariv service. God watches over me. It is a sign forever between God and me and you. Ki Eshmara Shabbat, page 129. You're right there. Ki Eshmara Shabbat, Yishmereni. Ki Eshmara Shabbat, Yishmereni. Oti leomead, Beino veni. Oti leomead, Beino veni. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, Yishmereni. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, Yishmereni. Oti leomead, Beino veni. Oti leomead, Beino veni. We have sung songs of welcoming Shabbat, had warm, fuzzy thoughts, and now let us invite the angels to join us for Shabbat as well. Page 142. Shalom Aleichem, a well-known welcoming song. Malachi Elyon, the most high angels, we have join us for Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bohem Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I believe it is just about time to open the door to welcome our Kala. Shekhinah's name for God's dwelling place is the name for God's dwelling place, and as she enters, we rise on the final verse of Lecha Dodi and greet the Shekhinah as a bride. And the room is filled with all our special Shabbat guests, the angels, us, our friends on YouTube, and now the Shekhinah joins us so we can transition into our central prayers. We will sing verses 1, 2, 8, and 9. It's on page 138 and 139, L'chadodi. And when we get to the final verse, verse 9, please rise and face the door and welcome our bride. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmiyanu echad yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Shemo tiferet v'litehila. L'chadodi likrat kala, Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat techu v'necha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh machshavacha tegila. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Yamin u'shmol tifrotzi, v'yet Adonai taritzi, hayadish ben parzi, v'nismecha v'nagila. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. The bride is waiting at the door. Please rise and we face. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'tzochona, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kalai Elenai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. We remain standing, page 144. Chatzi Kaddish is one of our most ancient prayers. It's a prayer of praise, and you may recognize these words. We say them here. We say them in the middle of Torah service. We say it as we transition from Torah service to other services. It is, I like to think of it as like a tent pole holding up our spirit as we transition from Kabbalat Shabbat to Baruch Hu to Shema. יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד יברח יורתי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לעמי עולמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם דעלמא, ויאמרו Amen. We face east, the spiritual center of the planet, as we say Baruch Hu, page 146. I will do the call, and if you will echo with the answer, the second and third lines. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. What follows next in our Kabbalat Shabbat worship in fairly quick succession are several prayers in which we reflect on the various aspects of our relationship to God, and their blessings and prayers to God and from God to us. We begin with Ma'ariv Aravim, that God as the creator of the world, who creates light and darkness, who created us and who blesses us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhma poteach sheharim, uvidvuna mishaneh hitim umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, v'choshech mipnei or, umavir yom umevi layla, umavir ben yom uvelayla, Adonai tzvaot shemot el chai v'kayam tamid yimchaleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Turning to page 150, Ahavat Olam, God who shows his people everlasting, unconditional love. No matter what we do, no matter where we are in our hearts and in our minds, because we are God's creation, we are God's children, and we deserve that unconditional love and protection. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha Avta, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Haken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, U'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki chem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvam nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha atasi, mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Surely, as Kadosh Baruch Hu is united with Shekhinah on Shabbat, the upper and dwelling worlds are connected and become one. We are one in our devotion and connection to our covenant with God, and we declare it loudly and proudly in the Shema. Page 152, 153. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 154. These are the first and last paragraphs of the full Shema, which appears in in Deuteronomy in our Torah. We speak it in the language it is written in, and we also speak it in a language that we understand and we connect to. So if that's Hebrew, great. And if it's not, you will find its meaning in the English. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'meitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'shachvecha u'kumecha
וקשרתם להוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, אישתם קדושים ללכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Grabbing a sip before standing on the parted shores of history. Please read with me on the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. There is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through this wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Our song for freedom, liberation, Michamocha, page 158. Yai la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la Come on. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב ויעלום יד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גיא ישראל. So this next blessing that can be found, the Hebrew part of this blessing can be found on page 160. I like the words in the middle of the translation here. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. This is a prayer of our vulnerable selves and our ultimate trust that God will protect us. It is an evening prayer. We think about singing it in the dark when we may feel uncomfortable in the shadows. And through this blessing, through this prayer and God's protection, we wish to be carried safely through the night so we can awake the next day to do God's good work. The English is not in your prayer book, but if you know it, you can sing along with me. I'll do it in English and then in Hebrew. When I lay me down to go to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul will keep, and as my soul wanders into the deep, shelter me please neath your wings. Let me walk around the block with you, lie under the night sky and howl at the moon. Let me have another chance to make a difference to someone next day when I wake. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha v'takneinu be'etza tova milfanecha. When I lay me down to go to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul will keep, and as my soul wanders into the deep, shelter me please neath your wings. Shelter me please neath your wings. Turning to page 162. There are several places in Torah where we are commanded to keep Shabbat. And this is a prayer stating just that. That it is a sign, a covenant between God and us to keep Shabbat. And why? Because when we do it, we emulate God. God created the world in 6 days, and every day we, as God's co-creators, we are doing God's work, and we are B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image. We, like God, we rest on Shabbat. And so we will do this forever. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתונם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתונם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתונם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתונם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתונם. So we turn the page, and there is one word in big writing up at the top on page 164, tefillah, which means to pray. And what have we been doing? Why is it just here? Is this something different? This page has only this word because it is a moment of contemplation before you do a little improvisation, a little prayer one-on-one between you and God. And we rise for this. It's called the Amidah, the standing prayer. And we take some time. You can read the words from page 166 to 181 in the prayer book, or you can close the book and just immerse in the prayers of your heart. So I invite you to rise now as we say the invocation on page 164 and then go into the silence. Ananana svatai tiftach, ananana ufi agid tehilatecha, ananana ananana svatai tiftach, ananana ufi agid עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל, 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 יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל. We add to these prayers spoken to in silence and aloud a prayer for healing for the people in our community, for the people in our lives, our loved ones, and those who are suffering around the world. Misha Berach on page 109. In our community this week, we mentioned these names to give them extra strength, extra care. Lena Lewis, Malka Cyril Bat Devoradina, Sarah Bat Abraham, Kathleen Ford, Maya Smith, Art Ritter, Mac Russell, Eileen Abbey, Bela Rachel, Charles Apple, Charles Ronkin, Elihu Ben Miriam, Judy Schlussel, Zahava Bat Dan, and any additional people you would like to name right now. Misha Berach can be found on page 109. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor Abracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. You can put your books down for just a few minutes. This evening, I would like to share the wisdom of Rabbi Vered L. Harris, the spiritual leader of Temple B'nai Israel in Oklahoma City. She appreciates how our ancient texts continue to speak to our modern experiences. Following are her interpretations with some of mine of this week's Torah portion. I appreciate her comments in light of my visceral reaction to global leaders and the sins, my words, that they commit in seeking power and influence upon their constituents and the strangers in their midst. I'm thinking of the actions of those in positions of influence who choose selfish ends over the rights of others and our planet. I would urge them to study Parsha Naso. When was the last time I made a moral inventory of myself? Where am I strong and moral? Where am I weak and susceptible to temptation? Just asking the question without even making a list or acting upon it can make us uncomfortable. After all, who among us hasn't crossed the line, fallen back, or hurt others with our choices? If I consider the ways that I have sinned against others, those I love, and those I like, and those I don't, how can I put myself back on track? Those familiar with the 12 steps for addiction recovery, first introduced by Alcoholics Anonymous, recognize taking moral inventory as the fourth step. Everyone can benefit from following the 12 steps and living as if we were in recovery. The notion of making a fearless moral inventory and the subsequent steps of what to do with our realizations are in line with how we live as just and merciful people trying to follow in Jewish tradition. When our ancestors stood at the base of Mount Sinai, anticipating the gift of Torah, the excitement in the air was palpable. Torah would be a tangible symbol of God's love. Like a parent who establishes rules in the household, God's boundaries would help us refine our behavior to be at our best. Yet, like children who know the expectations, we fall short and disappoint God. There are three important principles laid out in Torah that we cannot review often enough. These are, from Leviticus 19, love those who are like you. Love those who are different from you. And love the eternal, your God. To live by these three commandments, we must ask, what is love? Love in the Torah is not an emotion. It is how we behave. We learn about love from how God treats us. We are taught that Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh is a name of God particularly associated with mercy. Elohim represents God's attributes of justice. And as these two are the primary names for God in the Torah, we learn that God loves us through justice and mercy. Similarly, when we act with justice and mercy, we fulfill the commandments to love our fellow, the stranger in our midst, and the eternal one. In this week's Torah portion, Naso, God reminds Moses, speak to the Israelites. When men or women individually commit any wrong toward a fellow human being, thus breaking the faith with God, and they realize their guilt, they shall confess the wrong that they have done. They shall make restitution in the principal amount and add 1/5 to it, giving it to the one who was wronged. Despite our best intentions and religious teachings, we cannot force someone else to admit their crimes and willingly take action to try and repair the damage. So what is our response when we are not treated with justice and mercy? A story is told in the Babylonian Talmud, Brachot 10a, of Rabbi Meir traveling on a road where there were hooligans. One afternoon, his wife, Beruria, heard him pray that the men would die. He thought this would be merciful. They would go to the world to come and benefit from whatever good they had done thus far in their lives. By ceasing to live, they would not accumulate any more sins for which their souls would have to suffer. Rabbi Meir relied on Psalm 104, verse 35, telling Beruria, as it says, "Let sinners cease from the earth." Beruria countered that the correct reading of the Hebrew is, "Let that which causes sin to happen cease from the earth." Rabbi Meir later came to understand that a true prayer of mercy and justice for these men would be one that called for them to recognize their sins, pay restitution, apologize, and change their ways. Vengeance may entice us, but it is not justice. Spite can be alluring, but it is not mercy. Torah instructs us to be better humans by doing the hard and holy work of love, distributing justice to the unjust, mercy to the merciless. Religious love seeks a balance of justice and mercy. Religious instruction tells us to act with justice and mercy towards those who are like us and those who are not. Gender, race, sexual orientation, nationality, family, religion, political party, socioeconomic class, whatever. When someone violates the ethic to love one another, regardless of how alike or different the other is, we are to deliver justice tempered with mercy. A victim can love his or her perpetrator by insisting upon the most stringent consequences appropriate for the violation. Mercy begins at the border of justice to guard us from going too far. When we violate the ethic to love others, we are to admit our error and follow a path of bringing justice to the situation, despite our own discomfort or shame. The commandments to love are given to help us grow in righteousness. They aren't only for those who show us justice and mercy, they are also for those who do not love us back. Our obligation to reflect and take responsibility is confirmed in Parshat Naso. As a part of the bigger picture of Torah, we are reminded that by instituting justice and mercy in our lives, we are creating a more love-filled world. May it be so. We take up our prayer books again. With Aleinu on page 586, for which we rise. We'll do the bottom paragraph of 586, going straight on to the top paragraph of 588, and then flip ahead to 591. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי בשמיים ועושה הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפזולתו, כה כתוב בתורתו. היום ידעת היום בהשבות כי אדוני הוא האלוהים שמיים ממעל וארץ מתחת אין עוד page 591 ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad. You may be seated. Cough up this floor. Kaddish Yatom, page 598, Mourner's Kaddish. We are remembering this week in our congregation the yard sites of Bertha Aronoff, Russell Arnold, Erwin Ball, Sylvia Bashko, Douglas Bowling, Betty Brenner, Thomas Brumfield, Janet Rose Fenton, Julius Hirsch, Martin Kaltman, Pinchas Klein, Natalie Komisar, Irving Lefkowitz, Mark Schwartz, Roger Seeley, Theodore Cheyenne, Rita Cheyenne, Nana Stromberg, Allison Wellen, Marjorie Wolf, Rebecca Shaya, Chaim, Julius Marymore, and we are still in a period of Shiva or Shloshim for Ivan Logan. Those who are in mourning, those who wish to join them, rise for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam omei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudisha brichu, Leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'miram v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mama, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. They're here in the synagogue announcements. Tomorrow morning is the bat mitzvah of Danica Frazier at 10 a.m. right here in this room. So if you haven't had enough Shabbat this evening, you get to hear Torah tomorrow as chanted by a beautiful young woman which we bestow on her blessings for her bat mitzvah. And that will also be available on YouTube. And the link is in the email if you want to watch virtually. And I will also announce, it's not here, but currently recruiting singers for a planned music-filled Shabbat on July 19th. Just reach out to me. The information is, I believe, in the yesterday's announcements, and they will continue to be in the announcements for the next few weeks when our rehearsals will be. I'll teach you all kinds of harmonies so you can sing along. So I hope to have a lot of new faces join me on July 19 and the rehearsals before. And are there any other announcements anyone want to make? Okay. And we will close with Adon Olam on page 625. Which is here somewhere. An old favorite. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chevso Kol Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam Ve'acharei Kifotako Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Oveh Ve'hu Yevetifara Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chevso Kol Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam Ve'hu Echad V'yein Sheni V'hamshilo V'hachvira Adon Olam Ve'li Reishi Ve'li Tachlid Ve'lo Ha'oz V'chamisa Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chevso Kol Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam Ve'hu Eini V'chai Goani V'tzur Chevli V'yetzara Adon Olam Ve'hu Nisi Umanosli Medat Chotzi V'yom Ekra Adon Olam B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chevso Kol Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam V'yado Amtid Ruchi V'yeti Shani Ayira Adon Olam V'yim Ruchi Yeviati Adonai Liven Lo Ira Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chevso Kol Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom. Please join me for Kiddush and Motzi in Omansky Hall. Shabbat Shalom, everyone up there.